everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my 2022 releases that I am excited for video. Today we're going to be going through a list that I have compiled on my Goodreads, and it's going to be a good time. So as we go through this, it's going to be great. I only know of about 20, and I've just kind of thrown them into my 2022 releases list that I've made on Goodreads because I like to do this kind of every year. As I start hearing about 2022 releases, I put them in this list. I just keep adding to it. Even my 2021 releases page just kept growing throughout the year of 2021 so that I knew like which books were brand new to the year that I kept seeing that I still wanted to read. So we are going to go through this. Now, as you can see on the screen, I should probably tilt to the side so you guys can see it properly. Yes. All right. So first and foremost, there is a short story, I believe, or a novella by C.L. Polk, who wrote The Midnight Bargain, which I really enjoyed this year. It was a Canada Reads finalist. There is no cover, but I'm excited about it, and it is called Even Though I Knew the End, and it is about an exiled augur who sold her soul to save her brother's life, is offered one last job before eternity in hell. When she turns it down, her client sweetens the plot by offering up the one payment she cannot resist, the chance to have a future where she grows old with the woman she loves. To succeed, she must track down the White City Vampire, Chicago's most notorious serial killer, in the 3 days she has left. If she fails, only hell and heartbreak await. So I am ready. I am ready for how gay this sounds and just for how incredible it sounds. Next up is one that I think is on most people's radar, and that is The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, mainly because of this absolutely stunning cover. I'm obsessed with this cover, and I will be grabbing it as soon as I can. I believe this is an adult fantasy book that is being released, and I think it's being released on January 11th. That's what it says here, by Harper Voyager. So, ooh, Harper Voyager I don't know if that's an adult fantasy imprint. Not entirely sure, but anyway, so this is a debut inspired by the story and the legend of Chang'e. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. The Chinese moon goddess in which a young woman's quest to free her mother pits her against the most powerful immortal in the realm. Honestly, that is all I need to know. That paired with the beautiful cover, I'm in. Sold 100%. The next one I have on my list is one that I am so excited about, and that is Temple of No God by Hannah Long, H.M. Long. I adored her first book in this companion series called Hall of Smoke. This series that she is doing is just companions, so you don't necessarily need to read them in order, but they all do tie together in some way. So the main character of Hall of Smoke is the main character of Temple of No God, and this one is being released January 18th. I have this on pre-order. I've had it on pre-order for like since it was released because I absolutely adored Hall of Smoke so much when it came out this year, and I'm so excited for this one. I actually have the e-arc for it because I've been blessed by the NetGalley gods to get it, and I am about 13% of my way through it, and I'm already in love. I'm already in love. So it follows Hessa about a good amount of time from the first book. I think it's been like 10 plus years, if I'm not mistaken, since the first book. After a brutal war between the gods, Hessa, now High Priestess of the Yangen, has broken a fragile peace. Through great sacrifice, she has forged an alliance between warring tribes and introduced her people to the true God. But a new threat is growing across the southern border. In the remnants of the once great Arpa Empire, 3 factions are vying for the imperial throne and the vast well of raw magical power only accessible to the Arpa Emperor. Already beating back former Arpa legionnaires, but at her borders, Hessa knows she cannot let this chance slip by. She must intervene for the safety of her people. With the peace she has sacrificed for so much at stake, Hessa must venture into the heart of the enemy territory where warring Arpa factions are not the only danger she must face. A sinister new cult is on the rise, one with the power to suck the life from everything it touches. And it continues a little bit, but I'm so excited about this one, and this cover is just stunning. I absolutely love it. I love it so much. The next one is a little bit of an odd one, and I don't really remember why I added it to my list, but it is The Red Palace by June Her. This is released January 25th, and this one, I believe, I'm not sure if it's fantasy or mystery, I can't remember, but so it is set in 1758 Joseon, or Korea. I do apologize if I pronounced that wrong. There are few options available to illegitimate daughters in the capital city, but through hard work and study, 18-year-old Hayeon has earned a position as a palace nurse. All she wants is to keep her head down and do a good job, and perhaps finally win her estranged father's approval. But she is suddenly thrust into the dark and dangerous world of court politics when someone murders 4 women in a single night, and the prime suspect is her closest friend and mentor. Oh, I'm into it. And this cover is ridiculously beautiful. Like, I can't wait to see this in person. And also the tagline, "To enter the palace means to walk a path stained in blood." I'm so into it. I'm so into it. It's gonna be so good. Next is a sequel that I'm super excited about, and that is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, which is the second book in the Finlay Donovan mystery series. These are like fun, literary, like kind of witty, rom-com-y style mysteries that I read the first one this October and I absolutely loved it. This is the second one, continues that same series, and it is released February 1st, 2022, which 2022 doesn't feel like a real year yet. The next one I have on this list is a romance, and it is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake, which is a name that I have heard, but I've never read a book of hers before. This is released February 22nd, and it is about Delilah Green, who swore she would never go back to Bright Falls. Nothing is there for her but memories of a lonely childhood where she was little more than a burden to her cold and distant stepfamily. Her life is now in New York, with her photography career finally gaining steam and her bed never empty. Sure, it's a different woman every night, but that's just fine with her. When Delilah's estranged stepsister Astrid pressures her into photographing her wedding with a guilt trip and a 5-figure check, Delilah finds herself back in the godforsaken town that she used to call home. And this is where she sees Claire Sutherland, one of Astrid's stuck-up besties, and decides that maybe there's some fun and a little retribution to be had in Bright Falls after all. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god. And it's like, it's got Claire Sutherland, who has an 11-year-old daughter who, oh my gosh, she runs a bookstore. Oh yes, and it's sapphic. Oh, we love to see it. Oh, I'm so excited. And then we have, next up is All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. This is on this list purely because I'm interested to see what Sabaa Tahir does with a book that is not a fantasy, because I absolutely love her Ember and the Ashes Quartet. And this is a contemporary. This is released March 1st, and it follows, I believe, 2 timelines, and then in a now. One is set in Pakistan that follows Misbah, who is a dreamer and a storyteller, and then they're like traveling to the United States to open the Clouds Rest Inn motel, and then it is in Juniper, California now, following their children, I believe, and it's like heartbreaking and all sorts of stuff, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how the reviews pan out with that one as they go. Next up, of course, is Gallant by V.E. Schwab, which is her new standalone YA novel. I think it's YA. I want to say it's YA. It's one of those, like, I don't believe it has an age range, but it's like marketed, and it's going to be marketed as YA, because YA middle grade, because it's weird enough that it's probably to be read by YA audiences, but it could be read by anyone in that kind of sense, because it has been compared to The Secret Garden and Crimson Peak. So I'm ready for this one. Also, this cover is just really, really cool. I have no idea what to expect with this one, but this one comes out March 1st as well. The next one is the sequel to Black Sun, in which everyone is angry about this cover, so am I. It doesn't match Black Sun whatsoever. I really don't love it. It's gonna be coming out April 19th. It's a sequel, so it's also really hard to describe. A wonderful fantasy book that I read last year, I believe. Black Sun was part of my 2021 books, or 2020 books. The next one is Ballad and the Dagger by Danielle Jose Older. This is also, I don't believe, is that the final cover? I thought I saw a different cover at some point. Let me just have a look. No, I guess not. This is part of the Rick Riordan Presents, and it is the first YA novel that is going to be released in that imprint. It is released in May. It's going to be released probably in May 2022, and it follows a music and magic-filled YA urban fantasy about 2 teens who discover each other and their powers during a political battle within a unique diaspora community. So just that sentence right there gets me, because I know how much I love the Rick Riordan Presents books. Y'all know too. And I'm ready to see what kind of YA books can really come in with this. So super pumped about that one. Up next, we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I'm so excited about this one. This one's released May 3rd. This is author of Beach Read and author of People We Met on Vacation. So I'm ready to have this like romance, but also be a little bit hard hitting in certain ways. I'm ready for it. And if you couldn't tell, Book Lovers is about two book lovers. So it's about Nora Stevens, whose life is books. She's read them all, and she is not that type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent. And then we also have her counterpart, Charlie Lastra, who is a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. And it's gonna be their romance, 100%. I'm very excited about that. Ooh. The next one I will go through quickly is the sequel to Middle Game by Shauna Maguire, which I didn't realize there was gonna be a sequel. It's called Seasonal Fears, which I'm excited about, and that covers intense. I still don't know how to feel about Middle Game. I probably need to reread it to see if I understand it better, but it was a ride. And this one is released May 3rd. As well. There's a lot of May 3rd ones. Next up, we have I Kissed Shara Wheeler. I think that's how you say it. Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. This is her first YA romance novel. She's the one who wrote One Last Stop and Red, White, and Royal Blue. So I'm very excited to see where this one goes and what this one does. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of YA contemporary books, but it's Casey McQuiston. So I'm willing to give it a try. And the cover's really cute. Oh, that one, I forgot to check the day, is also released May 3rd. Because everything's released May 3rd. Then we have probably one of my most anticipated releases, which is A Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This one has had its publishing date moved up. It used to be released in August, or planned to be released in August. Now it is released June 28th, which I'm so excited about. I've already pre-ordered it. It continues the story that was started in Realmbreaker, which is one of my favorite fantasy books ever. And I am so excited to see where she takes this. It is like a grand Tolkien-esque what happened, or what would happen if the Fellowship failed, you know? In Lord of the Rings, that kind of vibe. It's a good time, and I'm very excited about the second one. Then we have another sequel. There's a lot of sequels this year. That is A Prayer for the Crown Shy. That is hard to say, by Becky Chambers. And this is a monk and robot book, and the first one was A Psalm for the Wild Built. This is a novella, and this one is released July 12th, 2022. So this follows Dex and Mosscap as they continue their little journey. And in the first book, it was really just a observation of humanity vibes, which was exactly what I needed at the time, and it is my favorite book of 2021, A Psalm for the Wild Built. So I am more than ridiculously excited about this book and for it to come out. Y'all don't even know. And then of course there's a few here that don't have covers yet. Babel, or The Necessity of Violence and Arcane History of the Oxford Translators' Revolution. That's a title. By R.F. Kuang, and she is the one who wrote The Poppy War. This is going to be released August 23rd. I believe this is going to be a dark academia vibe of a book. I didn't absolutely love The Poppy War, but I'm excited to see where she goes with Babel for sure. And then we have The Sunbearer Trials by Eden Thomas. Eden Thomas is the author of Cemetery Boys and Lost in the Neverwoods. I believe that's what their Peter Pan retelling is called. And this is the start of a duology that has just, I don't know, the most intense, like, awesome, this cover is so cool. I bet you when that's gonna be in person, it's gonna be all like gold filigree and everything. It's gonna be so pretty. So pretty. But this is a Mexican inspired fantasy where there's like the power of the sun and all that kind of stuff. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be wonderful. And then we have The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. I don't remember when I added this or why, but this is going to be released hopefully in October of 2022. This one is pitched as a young blood witch's mission to assassinate her betrothed, a gentle human prince, gets complicated when they uncover a witch-killing plague, and in their race to stop it, she falls for the prince's sister. So we also have another super anticipated read of 2022, and that is Bloodmarked, which is the book 2 in the Legendborn cycle by Tracy Dion. I am so excited about this because Legendborn was my favorite YA book of 2021 or 2020. Yeah, that was last year. Time is a soup. And I'm so ridiculously excited to see where this goes because Legendborn was beautiful, and I need to reread that before this one comes out. But this one is supposed to be coming out on November 8th, 2022, right in that lovely fall time, and I am so excited about it. But yeah, again, another sequel. And Legendborn is a Arthurian retelling, Black Girl Magic, just awesome ride. And then we have, last but not least, A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. So Hafsa Faisal is the author of We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars, that lovely duology. I am very excited about this one. This one's supposed to be coming out also on November 8th. We have yet to have a cover, but I'm excited about it. Either way, A Tempest of Tea is a first in a duology pitched as King Arthur meets Peaky Blinders with vampires. And if you guys have been around for a long time, you will know how much I love King Arthur retellings. Arthurian legend just gets me every time. And I'm so excited about this. Also because it's meets Peaky Blinders with vampires? Hell yeah. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. But this novel follows a gang of outcasts in a deadly heist led by Arthie Casimir to save her tea room, which fronts an illegal blood house where local vampires can purchase fresh blood. Hell yeah to that. I'm so excited. But yes, my friends, that is my entire list of 2022 releases that I'm excited for, that I've heard about. If you guys have any others that are on your radar, please let me know, especially if they're fantasy, because y'all know, and sci-fi, because I want to get into more sci-fi stuff. I just haven't heard of any really big releases other than the second Psalm book by Becky Chambers, which I don't even know if counts as sci-fi because it's more speculative than sci-fi, but
hello, Editing Jenna popping in here. I just wanted to let you know, since I filmed this video, I have added another 10 to that page, releases that are releasing in 2022. So if you guys want a part 2 to this video to go up early January, I would be more than happy to do it, because I'm sure by then I will have even more books that I've added to that page that I'm excited about, because I just got a chance to watch the HarperCollins Frenzy Winter Presents part, so there's all those books that I'm interested in, and there's, you know, just every day I keep seeing people do videos or like do posts about anticipated releases, so let me know down below if you want me to do a part 2 to this video, and I will do it.
Anyways, that was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this little amount of time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will catch you in another video very, very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.